Hey y'all, what's up? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hope you all having a good week. I myself in a good day. I myself having a good day, and I'm here for Love Island episode 17 to 21. All things about Casa. It's Casa week, and we got a lot of things to say. And I want to say this, y'all. I know there are a lot of people who's like on one side and other people on another side. Y'all have your favorites. Y'all gonna defend your person to the end. I'm here gonna tell you that I'm gonna call out everything that I feel that is right to be called out. Everyone is not safe, and I'm just gonna tell you how I feel because people are way too upset and invested, way too upset about things that need to be upset. Just watch the show and just call it a day. Say your opinions. Don't need to call each other names. Doing the extra stuff. It is ridiculous. It's like, I can't. It's like that. It's faults on all sides. All parties is at fault. Yes, I said it. All parties at fault. Nobody is more wrong than another person. Everybody's at fault. And yes, there are some things I will call out and what I didn't like and everything. So some of my opinions might be unpopular opinions and whatnot, but that's what I take. When I watch the show, I really don't be a defender of somebody. I might like you or not, but if I see something I don't care for, I don't care for. Like the one thing I don't like is the women going after each other. I don't like the cattiness because it's the men is the issue. Y'all should focus your energy on the men. Another thing I don't like is the gang up mentality. I hate that too. So all that thing at the end, last scene of the Casa, it was not oppressive. Yes, I understand it. I may understand it, but I may not like it. And that's my take. That's my take. It doesn't make my opinion any more wrong or right than another person's opinion. Like I said, everybody has their own opinions. And no, my opinion is wrong. It's valid because we all watch the show in different lenses. Can we just be respectful one another, and just state your opinion? It's not right or wrong. If somebody understand KC and try to explain his decision, that's fine. The only thing I have an issue is that you would defend one person and don't understand the other side, and it's just completely disregard what another person's saying, which not understanding what they coming from, and vice versa. And if you could understand objectively, let's do that. But hey, shine bright like a diamond. You're beautiful like diamond in the sky. What's up? How y'all doing? like I said, at the end of the day, I just watch the show and have a fun time. I only watch it for entertainment. I just don't watch it to get too all deep and all personal and all that extra stuff and everything. We know this happening. We know the show got bigger than what it was before, so it's come to the territory. Thank you so much. Thank you. It comes to the territory. So let's just have a good time. I mean, if you have a different opinions, I welcome it. I'm not one of those people who will get upset when you have a different opinion in mind. Just as long as you respect me and I respect you, that's all it is. So, all right. And I'm not going to go through all my notes. So I'm just going, let's have a free conversation. Let's talk and then have a conversation on how you feel and everything. How y'all feel about Casa Week? To be honest, the opening night was the best night of Casa. That Sunday, I was like, oh my gosh. Yes, this was so good. Good afternoon. How you doing? This was so good. It was so good. And after that, it just went downhill to me. And to the last couple in when they had a little more excitement, entertainment. Even though I didn't like a lot of things that was going on, but that what it was. And I say yes, they had got them getting ready for the heart rate challenge, and then Casa started, and then they get to see them on movie like a movie night, low key movie night at the same time. I said, oh, now that was good. That was good. So from there, the girls had 12 guys to pick. The picks wasn't all that for me. I think the pick was lackluster, in my opinion. I will tell you who I would pick, and I'm gonna ask you when we get to that point who you will pick, who the 6 guys you want to pick if you had the choice. Yes, go ahead. It's almost pertaining to Love Island. Who you would pick and whatnot, and let's get into it. And it's confirmed. If y'all want to know, it's confirmed that movie night is happening. So I think it's the window of ask them what kind of clips you want to see is probably over because they gave you 24 hours and it's happening on Friday night. No, Saturday night. So maybe the end of this day, maybe by Monday, please go by Instagram and tag them and tell them what kind of clips you would like to see on movie night. Go to the Instagram page, I think Love Island USA, and tag them and let them know what clips you would like to see on movie night. There's a lot of clips that it could be there. And please don't only focus on KC. Please, we needed some clips on Case. Sincere, we need some clips on Bryce, some Zach, and some Mackenzie. A lot of things that have been said behind the scenes that a lot of people need to hear. We need to see all those clips. Don't just focus on one person because y'all have an issue with that one person. Please. Please, don't be one-sided, y'all. Just let it be diverse. Oh, she did? Okay. I didn't see it. All right, so let's get it. So before the Casa night even happened, right? They had conversations, and I want to pinpoint some of the conversations that like stood out to me before Casa even happened, like the whole Nia and KC. Now, with the whole thing about Nia and KC, whatever side you on, whatever side you on, but I'm gonna say I feel like they both have some faults in this relationship. I think, to be honest, I feel like both of them wanted something and both of them was looking for something they probably wasn't getting enough of, or probably was getting it, or had some expectations. They say one thing and it mean another. Like I feel like now you keep saying that you should go explore, you should go explore and everything, but when he trying to do or say he would, you would get so visibly upset. And I said that's not really telling him you need to explore if you're gonna get so upset about that. And I think the reassurance, because she did say that like night he always reassure her. So that's just coming out her mouth. Now, whether she lying or not, that's on her. But the reassurance, and then also same time, he feel like he kept doing the most, and when I'm gonna get a return. And I'm just saying that yes, you do want reciprocation in a relationship, but in what degree will you want the reciprocation of? Now, I know people were saying that he wants sex from her, so like that. I don't think he said he wants sex from her. I think he wants affection from her. I know that's for sure. That's what he said. But maybe y'all may see differently. Maybe y'all think that he just wants sexual stuff. So I just know he just wanted affection. She wasn't being affectionate enough. And I know everybody keep going about the grandma comment. I think the grandma comment is more so before they even start talking about sex, the grandma comment is more so that she just goes straight to sleep. And then instead of be affectionate, like he wanted cuddles, he wanna do some kisses and stuff like that in the bed. I think that was more so in my opinion. You might have different opinions, it's fine. But I feel like that's what he wanted more of. And I know some people like to use the term slow burn, but I said slow burn, it only works if you're not attracted to the person. And if you're slow burn, you're gonna be slow going across the board, no matter who you with, no matter what. No matter you're attracted or not. But I think some people who use slow burn is that I would slow burn you if I'm not that attracted to you. But someone I'm really into, I'm not that much of a slow burner. I would easily give. So when I and Casey had that conversation before Casa, I want everybody to understand they didn't leave in a good terms. They did not leave in good terms because Anaya was told that Casey wanted to save soul. This was after the whole dumping. Y'all go on my last review on my playlist of the last thing and how I tell you how I feel about all that. And Soul and Gabe was eliminated. And I guess Casey was vouching for Safe Soul. So she's not even in there, but they were still talking about her. But they said she should have saved Soul. It was weird that you be the only one trying to have a proof of chat. She said, yeah, I would. Proof of chats. I would talk to her. I would add that because I think the issue I had with him is that he said he was regretting his decision. He regret what he did, but he regret that not pursuing so more. That's what he regret. And I said, I want people to have come in this villa experience, do everything you need to can, not any regrets. Don't have any regrets. Say what we have to say. And do what we have to do. And not even have to be in our feelings. I know they were saying that every time he does want to have a chat with her, she will pull away from him. And I said that's not meaning that is not saying you want him to explore if you go pull away from him every time they try to have a chat. So I was saying, and at the same time, he said he would not explore it because of the sake of her and everything. Why would you go for him? He had a good connection, everything. I don't believe everything he was saying is a lie. But like I said, some things, like I said in the early videos, it's like something about KC maybe is showing out that he might put up at the front. But I don't know. I think their connection was genuine, but at the same time, I think it was not compatible. I think they was each other's safe bet, and I ain't had other people that she could really fall back to. I think she had more options and more roster. Maybe she would have been all up on KC like that. And vice versa. And so KC regret from going to the soul. So when they have it talking out, he says a line that I had to like to explore and everything. She said, do whatever you want, and walked away from him. And she walked away from conversation a couple of times. Like I said, I'm not gonna say I'm not for in one side over the other. I'm just gonna put in the context that they did not leave in good terms when they go to Casa. And to be honest, if you listen to their conversation, they both were saying the same thing in Casa about they had one thing to say, oh yeah, I liked them, he was good, you sure, or something like that. What I got from each other, what I needed from him, he gave me what I needed. It just he said the same thing, but the affection part, he wanted more affection. But he said she was a good girl, she was great, she loved black women, or something like that. But another time they also say that we wasn't compatible, it wasn't a connection like that, everything. But one thing was different when the other one, which I wanted to point out, is that when he was in Casa, he seemed like he was more upset and demeaning and kind of went rude of his connection with Nia, while she just kept it respectful. So that's the one thing I think people was mad of, is that at one point people was look at my Twitter line. I know everybody got different algorithm in the Twitter, but what I was seeing, people was really upset and pissed off that he moved on. He should have been with Nia, stuff like that. And another people they would say they understand that he explored, but he should not have been rude and disrespectful. And I said, okay, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I think when he really had put out his frustrations out, and it came out so negatively, and that's the issue that people had. Because, like I said, I'm not mad at what nobody do. I'll say on Twitter, I'm gonna stand by. I'll say I don't care what nobody doing this. Villa, Corbin, Kinsey, or I'll say no matter what they do. I'm not mad at nobody what they do. It's that more you stand on your decision. That's one. You honest. That's two. You're respectful. That's three. And you are true to yourself. That's four. That's all I have. When you are failing in one department, people have to call you out on that. Because I am, and why you on my channel asking me that question? Block. Yes, I'm talking, right? Oh, you asking the other person why you will? Okay. Here go the trolls. Here go the trolls. Don't come in here and be disrespectful, so you will get blocked. I don't go back and forth with people. So that's that. Another thing I have issue with Zach. The one now, the thing about the sexual thing, he did talk to Kata that he did not want to have sexual thing because it might complicate things more. Because he was thinking about bombshells and like in the context. And when she tried to say, explain what he was saying, he said, "No, that's not what I meant." I said, "That's what you meant. You meant that you didn't want to be sexual because you think it will be complicating things and it's going to mess up your chances with other people." That's what you said, and you meant that. Now that was that. Another thing also was you had sex with her in the hideaway. And after you had sex, you said, "Oh, you're gonna get upset if I'm gonna talk to all the bombshells." I said, "Why you do that?" That's one. Why do that? And then the whole Caleb thing. When Caleb got saved and Zach was telling Caleb, he was saying that go ahead, go what you got to do. You got to explore. He had to explore the connections there. That's another thing. I say everybody was so closed off and trying to act like they want to step on the shows. I say you have to do so because who else they gonna connect to? You gonna wait for someone else to come in so he could talk to someone? No, that's stupid. Because they barely banging any bombshells this season anyway. I don't know what was up with that. I don't know what was that decision for. I don't know what was that decision for. So he said, "Go ahead, put anybody for chats, even Kata." So Kata said that. So when the challenge happened, and we talked about the whole challenge that happened, Kata, he was upset that Kata put up his shirt before him because he wanted to do so, and Kata was kissing Kata, and she enjoyed the kiss and whatnot. And then he also put Kata for a chat, and they have a good conversation, right? And she said she was interested in more conversation with him. Doesn't mean that she's going to be with him, but I think she's interested in more chats with him to get to know him more and whatnot. And she did say Caleb's not her physical type, but she would give him a chance. So when they have a conversation, he was upset. And she would say, "Yeah, I enjoyed the conversation. I want to have more chats with him." He said, "Oh, well, so I'll go pull Melanie." He keeps saying Melanie, Melanie. I said, "So what you going to say?" Because they had a little beef early in the season. Now they're cool now, but they had beef early in the season. And, Caleb was a tit for tat girl. Wish that she kept that tit for tat and clocked his behind and whatnot. Because I don't know. She just kind of like what happened to the King Kato that we were seeing. It's just kind of like fell off when it came to Zach. Like you kind of let this guy disrespect you. And for what? Keeps on going pull for money. I said, "Go ahead." If I were Kate, I said, "Go ahead. Go and pull for her. Pull her. Pull her. You think you're hurting me?" Because when he get a woman like Kata and so great and so like that, they tend to know they didn't probably won't pull them in like a real world or whatnot. they tend to kind of like chip you away to bring you down to what they feeling about you and whatnot. But I could be wrong, like I say. But he was showing his whole behind before Casa. Show his whole behind. I said, okay, I can show you. Don't act like that. And then what put nails in the coffin is that he said all that. And then when she try to have a conversation with him or try to kiss him and everything, I ain't know. He not had to kiss you or whatnot because you demanded. That's like it's fair. But you said, I want to talk to Bryce. 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 Okay, we want to talk to Bryce for? He ain't going anywhere. So what you need to talk to him so damn badly for? So pushing away and everything. And then the next morning, he was still in his feelings. And I would say this. This also, y'all know, this bores my soul with this. When he did not decide to make her breakfast, and he got up early, and he was making herself breakfast. We see that. So all that excuse that it was no enough, and I couldn't get to the kitchen. No, you was in the kitchen early. You didn't know how to make her breakfast. So you wanted to punish her. Let me tell y'all this. That tactic he did is not cool. Withholding food or anything what someone wants or need from you, it's a manipulation tactic. It's a sign of abuse. It is. Let's point that out there. You get upset, you withdraw something. So she coming down hungry. You didn't make her breakfast. He said, "Oh, I can make you breakfast, or you can make yourself breakfast." She said, if I was kid, I said, "You know what? You don't have to make me breakfast. Don't waste your time. You don't have to make me breakfast anymore. You be in your feelings. Don't let me just be. Don't give me all the numerous times to tell me you're not gonna make something because you upset. I got it. I got it. Because I would have left you behind. Don't play that with me. I don't play that. You upset, you talk it out with me. But to do something you normally do, it will hold that because you and your feelings, I didn't like that. That was whack. That was stupid. And Kato was kind of begging, and I said, "Don't do that. Let him know." I said, "No, I'm not that. I'm not that bitch. Like, don't play me." So they told the Kinsey about how Sheba feel that she was about to get sent home and she was on the chopping block. And she would say she not lustful. And I said, "Yeah, girl, bye. Yes, you were. Stop it. Yes, you were." And to be honest, you and Corbin was not really that into each other. You was only liking Corbin because he was giving you the sexual attention that you need. And vice versa. Corbin only liked you because you was easy. I said it. Because the other girls that he really was into wasn't giving him that much play. You were. So for him to say he was catching feelings, I think that was a lie. That was a lie. Him catching feelings, that was a lie. And you say you doing that. I say, girl, you only go after people that give you attention. Even before Casa, when the whole being in the bottom, he didn't like that at all. When he was in the bottom three, he was almost sent home. His whole aura changed. He definitely was lying. It was Icky was catching. Exactly. Exactly. He was catching the ick. His whole aura changed with Kenzie. Kenzie said, "I like when you kiss my shoulder. I like when you start the next shenanigan things because I only been the shenanigan things with you. I like when you're proofing the chest. I like you do. I want you to do this. I want you to do more of this. Do more of this." And he said, "He said." And I said, "Kenzie, you kept talking and talking. You didn't see his face. He didn't ball. He didn't care whatever you were saying. He didn't care. That means in his mind, he checked out. He checked out on you real quick, girl." And then she said, she got red flags. I said, "So why you didn't tell her the red flags?" He said, "Anything wrong? Things I did wrong?" She said, "No." And he told her to kiss her to shut her up. But I said, "Oh, Kenzie and him ain't going on good terms in Casa." Now, Kenzie didn't think she said married to Bliss. He checked out on her. Yes. When he said there's anything else you don't like about me that I had to work on, I knew he was done. Yes, he was done. He was done for it. He was definitely done. He was definitely done. I said, "Oh, Chad, he's done. He not done anymore." So Naya and Cecilia, right? They were talking. I think Naya this time she was saying that she really liked the person. She would think about closing all. She would follow for him and everything. And I said, "Oh, okay, okay." That's what I'm saying. This back and forth thing, because it's one thing and there's another thing, another thing. They ear from each other, and then there's another thing. I was like, it's just complexity, contradictions in their relationships. That's like really. So he said he happy with Melanie or whatnot. So Trinity said she's good with Bryce. She could see herself outside the villa with him. And I said, okay, Lily. All right. She said the bromance is cute. I said, okay, she like it's cute. It's all about you. I said, Trinity, it's fine. It's fine them being. It's fine they have a little romance going on or a little friendship. But when you go across the line of showing each other your penises and stuff like that, and y'all describing it and all that stuff, it's a take a bit too far. Take a bit too far. And then the fact that Trinity made you say that you show everybody else, but you ain't showing me. I said, did she know that Zach saw it? Or Bryce just going around and showing people his thing? I said, who that? Who else is seeing it? Now she saw it that now before Casa. And she thought, oh, it's cute and everything. But I was like, what was going on? So when Casey was talking to Sia, this is what we say more his feelings, that he felt restricted. He felt like you don't let him explore. Why how he would know he got something good if you don't let him do things. So I was like, yes, understand that he may feel like restricted because of how now reactions. And I think that's part of the reason. And also you didn't do that because you know Cecilia was in your way. You also said that. And you did said that, Casey. Don't act like you didn't say that. And uh he said if he would have done what Cecilia would have done to Melanie. Yo, what is going on here? Like, can we get some real people on here who really want to talk about Love Island and coming and trolling? I don't know why I get on these troll accounts. If Cecilia would do what he did to Melanie, he would leave her. I said, hey, yes and no. I don't know. I don't know. Because we all thought Melanie was going to have some sense of her and not pick him a second time or the first time in the matter, but she still did it. I will keep picking him. I will keep picking Sincere. So, you know, they got a text. They got a text of a heart rate challenge. So everybody was so excited. You know, the heart rate challenge usually happen after Casa, usually after movie night, when they all decided to certify their couples and everybody, you know, the Casa girls is back and they all in the villa together having a good time. They do a heart rate challenge. They usually have a heart rate monitor and see who heart rate gets raised the most based on the tricks and dances that they get from the partners. Both girls and guys do it for each other, right? So the heart rate challenge, everybody was getting excited. The girls were getting ready. They would practice their moves. Spin that itch. Spin that itch. Yeah. They were doing a lot of stuff. They said, oh, yeah, they was splashing. Kids just splash us practice her splits and all that stuff she was doing. I said, girl, we get it. You split all the damn time. They was all practicing. The guys was getting ready. They excited as well. You know, guys would be excited for that. And then meanwhile, when they was getting all ready, the guys got a text. And the text was, you gotta leave the villa and head to Casa. So the guys were so excited. They said, oh, snap. Casa, 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 Casa. They're all excited for Casa. It's their chance to go and explore. So my one thing I always preach about Casa is that I wish the girls don't stay too loyal to the guys and do their big one. It doesn't mean you have to be with the person at the end, Just make great connection. If you find a strong connection, pick the guy to come back with you, and then if that guy come back, you won't feel it or messed up. You won't feel messed up, or you won't feel humiliated, or you won't feel delusional. You will pick somebody. They see you have somebody. They have somebody, and then y'all can work it out. If y'all meant to be back together, meant to be back together. I don't know all this stuff is loyalty towards each other. If we are not closed off, if you was closed off before Casa, then I understand. But if y'all was not closed off before Casa, even if you had strong connections, I think you should pick someone that do your big one. Because one thing I don't like is that women betraying themselves. It feels stupid. I'm starting to feel Casadon needs to come early when they are not so closed off. Yes, but the problem with this season is that we didn't think these contestants, because it's crazy, is they like before season up to one season 6, Casamore always been the same. Season 7 they changed it because everybody was not really in solidified couples. So now the people are solidified couples, but the only issue was they were solidified couples, but they was too closed off and exploring. So it's like it should have shook it up earlier and make it that nobody was there and closed off to it soon, but it was so long gone, so we didn't know what Casa could have started. That's what I say. Every season had a little issues going on because this season is like people was scared to step on toes and do things and whatnot, and they do so. They be all sneaky about it. Oh well, can't be sneaky when you're in the villa, but they try to be sneaky. But I felt like in some way, shape, or form, I think it was out of that. I think another issue was people was getting too closed off. That's one thing. Even though they say they're exploring, and when they do talk, they're not exploring to find a connection, be open up for a romantic thing. They just talk to talk. That's one thing. They didn't do enough activity. So usually bombshells come in, they take someone for the dates. What happened to the dates? They did a hideaway so early. So they think they like this is a bunch of horn dogs in this villa this season. To give bombshell more of a leg when they come in, take somebody on dates to build that connection. They barely did that, and they barely brought more bombshells in here as well. Now, I think part of it was part of it why they didn't bring too many bombshells as much as that, because they were saving most of them for Casa, because the girls got 12 guys for Casa. But I was like, y'all notice they didn't bring much bombshells this season. They didn't do much dates. They didn't have the bombshell coming in taking some people out on dates. So it was a lot of things that they did this season that's kind of like messed up. So they had people only had to be close or connected with each other for the time. So I said, I don't know what happened this season. Why they changed that. So everybody getting ready. So the guys left. Now the girls ain't know the guys left. Yes, it is. It is. It has its moments, but it's not. It's very lackluster. So the guys left the casa. The girls get ready. So they all say, yes! They saw a big box. So they were so excited. They said, oh my gosh, there's a box in the middle of the villa by the fire pit. So they were so excited. They was getting ready and then it was like, what's going on? So they think the guys in the box. I said all 6 guys could be in that box. Hey, it could be. It's big enough. So they said the guys in the box ready to give them entertainment. It was ready. Child, and the guys was there. They in the villa. They in casa. They saw the casa. It looked nice and everything. It's all set up for them. And they all was sitting down getting ready. So when all this stuff, the box opened and it said, welcome to Casa Mall. And the girl said, what the hell? They was like, what is this? Yo, girl, it's Casa. It's Casa. Oh my God. They was like, ah. They were screaming and all that stuff like that. They said, what is this? What is this? So they had to see the whole view. So they were shocked. And I was like, oh my gosh. Opening night of Casa was the bomb because they got them ready. They was all pumped up to do a heart rate challenge. Come to find out, they go do the heart rate challenge at Casa. And I was like, the girls didn't get their little challenge, but they had their little thing later on. But with the 12 guys coming the next day. So I think they did that to give the woman a boost to do something, because usually in most season women just like to stay low. They don't want to explore. They want to do nothing, and it's like, come on. And it's probably one or two probably do something, and usually the ones that like me single, they're not in couple with someone, and they got the fair chance to be with someone in casa. But usually everybody would be like, oh no, stop that. Another thing I don't like, I'm not gonna say this. I don't care if you come in as an OG, a bombshell, or a Casa girl. I don't treat nobody different. I know people like to treat the Casa girls like they some freaking bound weight in the barrel, the hoes or so whatever the season. If you want to compare them to like outside reality, the bombshells like in a mini they like come in try to interrupt. They all is there to find love and connection. They always there. So just because you're OG doesn't make you better than a Casa girl. Just because you're a Casa girl doesn't make you better than an OG. Just because you're a bombshell doesn't make you better than one. Nobody's better than nobody else. Because y'all all on the same platform. You're all trying to find the same thing. The only thing that's different is that OG you started from the beginning. That's all. So I'm not gonna keep my allegiance on being loyal just because they're OGs. Now, because some OGs annoys me anyway. Like this whole cast all annoying me anyway. I don't really have no favorites, to be honest. Usually I have favorites. I don't have no favorites. Even if my favorites, I will call them out. I'm not that freaking blinded. So I want to say that because people tend to get beside themselves and trying to demean the Casa girls like that. Now, like I said, vice versa. The Casa girls don't come in and act like you better than the OG's girls either. Like I say, it just depends. I just don't want the females, especially, to be catty towards each other. You know, I don't like that. I want y'all to be solidarity because some of these men like to play y'all. We also got to put the consideration these people are young too, so they gonna move differently than people with mature mind will have. There are some mature young ones, not all of them, but some of them. Now here go the Casa girls. Let's get to it. First was Amora. Amora's 21. She a student. She from Georgia. She go after and she will test someone's relationship. Now I get Amora because I don't know what I said. And then another thing about the Casa girls have an advantage by watching everything what's happening in the season before they come there. So they do have a little slight advantage. The only thing disadvantage they have is that they're not an OG. So it's like a trade-off. Right? So they will go after they will test my relationship. So it's a beautiful girl. Beautiful woman. And I say, listen, I want her to be there. I want her to come back. But whatever can happen, I need her to come back to the villa. But that ain't happen. Palmita's 27. She's from Texas. She's from Iran. She's a personal trainer. And she wants to shake up the close relationships. While she saw that, I think Kato was crying. I think because the H girl came in, they did their little dances to the guys. And I said, what kind of heart rate is this? Because I said, y'all just mostly kissing. No, y'all can do that anytime. I said, heart rate channel supposed to be dancing, so tricks, something like that. But, you know, they had their whole little different mind what heart rate channel was. So Palmita came, and, you know, Palmita is a beautiful woman as well. And she got the, you know, the exotic look like a lot of people like to go after. So she came in. I think Zach was interested because she know that that's like Zach type or something like that to a T, and she was like kind of worried, so she started crying about it. So Corbin, he already said it in the video. He gonna come back with somebody different right off the bat, and they say something about throw Kinsey out the window. That's what they got the girl upset about them later on. We'll get to that, but I'll say yes, it was rude, it was messed up, but you got it was obvious that he checked out. So he didn't give a damn. But I think Cody Kinsey, she didn't get no signs that for him that he was not interested in him or that he was ready to go on. But I said, oh no, girl. Because, you know, before they went to Casa, somebody was French flying and all that other stuff and DJing and stuff like that. So they were still being sexual before they went to Casa. And he said he don't give a F about nobody saying. I said, go ahead, stand on that. Stand on that when you come back and stand your hand high. I mean, he did come back and he didn't give a damn what the girl said. he was being funny too, but whatever. The only thing they were shocked about, they didn't know that they were getting filmed, and the girl saw the live stream of the concert event. But it is what it is. Jada, she came next. She's 22. She's from California. She get good eye contact, and she will shake it up. She kind of similar. She kind of resembles like Jessica Alba a little bit, but that's what it is. Tierra or TT, she came in. She attached to KC. She really want KC, and she going after her man. And I said, girl, that's why I put in my thumb down. I said, calm down, girl, because you coming in really hot. Now the calm down was not for later on, but the calm down was maybe for the beginning when she coming in a little too hot. Come back to KC, this is my man, this is that, and she was getting upset as anybody was trying to connect with him, because later on we're gonna talk about that as well. She's living in LA, she was a nanny. So she really feel hard. She also said she falls hard. I said, oh, there's another one who's like to fall fast, huh? You just love to fall fast with people. So fall fast, get the aura. Casey was joining the aura and stuff like that. People say, oh, he want to throw 3 weeks away. I say, he not really throwing 3 weeks away, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, like I said, I don't fault no guys who do what they doing in the villa. They can explore what they want to do. As long as they can be respectful. But guys gonna feel and do stuff like they're gonna strip club. So I'm like, if I was a female, I'm gonna be upset by that. I said, it's guys. They're gonna enjoy the lap dances. They're gonna do all that stuff like that. As long as they ain't trying to fuck them, then I'm not gonna be upset. I said, okay, cool. So they say, oh, lamest man, he's a loser. I said, okay, y'all ain't your feelings because y'all just saying whatever you're saying. Because at this point, I'm not really care that he's a loser or not, because he ain't say anything yet for me to say, oh, well, Casey, that's messed up. Now, later on, when he was explaining his connections and talk about his connections to Corbin and other people, that's when we start seeing his real feelings coming out. His feelings that he was suppressing coming out. Then we start saying, okay, then we'll see it. But at that point, I would not say all that. They're in their feelings. Alana came. She's 21. She's from Florida. She like in-shape guys, and she gets what she wants. Now, Alana was the one that got kicked off the Casa. She was there for like a couple of days and they kicked her out because a clip resurfaced of her saying the N-word, you know, and being somewhat racist and stuff. So she said the word, you know, look, I don't play that. So they kicked her out. And now Sydney, another beautiful woman, 25, she's from Florida. She's a medical assistant in cardiology and all that stuff. So, kids okay, that thing. When Naya saying that, shit, oh, two could play that game because I could play the game. We could do it better. I said, girl, you said all that stuff. You said all that words of affirmation and confession, so you barely don't do it. And you know what's crazy, y'all? Let me put this out. Remember the early in the season when it was Ariana was talking to the ladies? Anaya said she had a roster girl. Anaya said she was a roster girl. Kinsey was to say she wasn't one. But now in this season, Kinsey had the roster. And Nyan wasn't. So it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I said, how you were in the real life and you're not doing the same thing here. So after all that said and done, it was a nice fighting thing. I come to find when I was seeing that none of the girls was stunning sincere as much. So I could, a lot of girls could see, they probably saw him and say, oh, they were rocking him that much as we thought so far. But then also, that Lana girl, something about her off. Because I said, before we found out that she was saying that, the clips came about her being saying the N-word, we seen her, and I was like, she was giving the loose paper people, the guys, the non-person of color, all the energy. But when it came to like Corbin or, you know, came to like KC and it came to like Sincere, she didn't do much. She said, that's all you get. A little dip. That's all you get. That's all you get. But everybody else, shoot up. All that stuff. I said, Said about how it was off before we find out about that stuff. Now, at all this said and done, ladies is up and said, they need more. I said, good. Hope this gives y'all the energy Yeah, not too much. Not too much. Girl. So they was getting energy. Melody said, no, it's cool, chill out, let them do them. They're gonna see how they move to see. They're gonna see who you fuck with or not. She was being level headed. But then again, I would say she was being level headed. She said she was upset. It is what it is. And so I'd rather them do that, and I'd rather go home alone than be with someone like that. I said, girl, Melly talk a lot of good talk in this freaking villa, this Casa Villa, through this whole Casa week. And she did not stand by her choices. She stand by that man. She gonna keep picking sincere, no matter what. Corbin like his Pomita. He really enjoyed Pomita. He is so into Pomita. Caleb did his thing and whatnot. So let's go on. I'm not gonna really talk about a lot of conversations that's happening. So let's go on with this. So they had a lot of conversation. The guys get to spend the night with the girls, and that like they had to me, they feel like they had a little bit more time to get build a connection, have a conversation, stay the night with them in the bed and everything. The girls had 12 guys, and they had only that one day. They even had to spend the night and night to try to build more connection to even make a better decision. They had that whole day. It was a pool party and whatnot. So the girls was upset. They had the thing, and then before that next day, like the girl saying, Casa, Casa. Now here go Kata and Kizzy want to say, F you, F you. I say, you know what? That was too tacky. To be honest, it was tacky. Okay, nobody say that was tacky, and then she busted split like they could see her. I was like, okay, y'all can be in your feelings, but don't say F you to the girls. Like, come on. So the girls had their chance. Ariana came out, beautiful as ever. And she said, listen, we're not going to give you 6 guys. We're going to give you a dozen. They said, oh my gosh! Now, the selection, they didn't have much to go by. I ain't going to front. A lot of the guys' selection was not eye candy to the point that the girls could turn their heads. I understand it's not all about looks, but listen, they gave us some bomb-ass good Casa girls, beautiful ever. Body, banging, beautiful woman, ass, titties, beautiful. And they had some guys that was nice looking, but they didn't have a lot that wasn't. So it's like they had much, but they had 12 options. So they they came in the boat. The guys saw the girls. The guys saw the guys driving the boat going to the villa. So they see it. So now they start getting their feelings about it. They see what's going to happen. Because now they say, oh, wow, there's too many guys. We only got 6 over here. They got 12 over there. So that whole day they have a pool party. They're going to have to get to know each other. And then at the end of that night, they will have to pick the 6 guys to go stay in the villa. Not everybody can stay. I said, damn, give it more time. So they had to try to connect, have a conversations. Most of the guys was in the pool, join and stuff. I said, connect with the girls, have a conversation. Like, they should have set it up a little different to give each guy a chance to even connect with the girls. And maybe had a better decision, whatever. But, and then they had like a mix and mingle talking and see how that goes. And then the guys get to choose one by one, get to choose 2 girls they interested in and kiss them. You know, they little kissing. So, the ladies end up picking the 6 people. The boys was Corey was for Trinity. Shay was for Kata. Gall for Jen. Every time I was seeing Gall, I was so disgusted. I said, why the fuck did you pick this fella? I said, oh, Jen, you whack ass. I said, we should eliminate your behind a long time ago. How the hell you dusty behind gonna pick this guy? Like, everybody have a conversation. Like, who is this? Like, I mean, now he's in the villain. He didn't seem like a bad guy. He had little conversations and whatnot. But it just like, I just couldn't. He was not the one I cared for at all. But whatever, Jen picked Gall. I said, that was for Jen. That for Jen. I said, girl, that's her type. But I said, how you go from Gabe and you were fucking them in there most of the damn time with Gabe from that until go to this guy? Because remember, she did say she more up to finance side because she did say Gabe wasn't her physical type. So I said maybe this was her type all along. And that she happy to be her. But whatever, Gall. Melody had Lonnie. Kizzy was Dylan. And then called for Anaya. Now, if you had to pick, because we all saw the pictures of the Casa guys, who the 6 of you will pick? Let me tell you who I would pick. The 6, based on aesthetics, based on like competition wise. Because if I was the girls would have picked these guys to come back, these are guys will come back to give the OG guys a run for the money, or at least some competition to work it out and see how it goes. Now, knowing that Paul is a nice guy, I didn't put him in my original 6, and not against him, but I didn't pick him for my 6 that I would have picked. But it doesn't matter. I would have picked Corey, Shay, Lonnie, Keon, Tino, and Kyle. Those are 6 people I would have picked. Now, before y'all say anything, I had no idea about no exes coming out telling about somebody, all that stuff. Because like I said, I don't listen to those, and I don't search for that, and I don't believe it right away. I know people come on the shows, people already in the woodwork already have all these videos about the person. In any other show, not just this show. And sometimes I don't listen to it because it's like sometimes what's the motive? Or are you actually telling the truth? Or are you lying? I don't know. Some of them may be telling the truth, but I said 60 people's in the villa, they cannot defend themselves. They cannot say, deny, or what. And they had to wait till they come out to say it. I would take that a grain of salt before it comes out, before I believe anything that a person would say about the person. So when I pick Kyle because it's aesthetics and whatnot. But unfortunately, a lot of them we didn't get much screen time, but some of them won. The one that we see more screen time for us is the one that we know that was going to be picked. But those were 6 people I would have picked. So I feel like that's why I split my thumbnail. Some of these ladies' pick was not all that great to me. Very lackluster, but it is what it is. They picked those. So I said, do you pick them because you automatically think they you must go along with that at the end, you go back to your man anyway? Or you were trying to see if you could step out and do whatnot. But so back in the villa, they had this my name is Titi. Yeah, I am the Rexy. Yeah, I am the night. Yeah, he gonna text me. I said, girl, calm down. I'm becoming mad thirsty. I don't like the thirst for housewives. Y'all know I call people who so thirsty. Men and women. That's for housewives. I don't like that. Stop doing that. That was too much. I mean, we get it, girl. And now you miss a man. I said, oh, you miss him? Okay. So I miss my man. Melanie and I miss my man. I said, oh, child. I guess the video ain't do much for y'all, huh? I guess you saw the flick. You got your pics. They didn't give you a little fancy. The video ain't give you a little boost to do what they got to do. So y'all just gonna say y'all miss your man. I said, okay. So I've had a lot of chats. That Trinity, I would say Trinity and Corey was getting along. I said they was kissing. A lot of girls were kissing out of chat as well. When I was talking to Carl, I said like Carl was more her speed to me. I feel like I think he's white Asian, and they have athletics like volleyball sports or whatever. It seems like more at each other's speed. It seems more her type than the Casey and her. However, I'm gonna say this. You might think I'm wrong or not. However, even though yes, they have a good connection and we see they may be more compatible, I don't think Anaya was that much attracted to him. Hey, I said it. Beat me. Because she could have picked her instead of saying loyal. Because every girls will try to tell her, pick cars, you're more your speed. Seems like you have a lot of connections. It seems like that. You have a lot of similarities. Like pick car, like do this, girl. Don't follow us. Trinity was trying to tell you the word. Even Melody bust the ass for trying to tell the word. I said, Melody, you kind of nothing to say. If you gonna keep your own word, don't try to tell her the word. Like Naya was hearing it, but I don't think she was resonating it. She understood what they're saying, but I don't think she was resonating because I don't think she was that much attracted to him. And we gotta be real. We gotta be honest. He's not a bad looking dude. He seemed respectful. He seemed like a mature man. But we just gotta be real for real. But she did say she felt seen, she felt beautiful, she felt like blessed, she wanted to share the bed. All that's why I say you say that, but then you stay loyal. So it's like, if this is the most beautiful you feel seen about someone, then what convinced you? Whatever, we get to that. I agree. She picks and safe for drugs, so I agree. Casey was her type. It wasn't. He wasn't. And we ain't gonna pretend otherwise. So why did Villa? Everybody have a connection, and everything. At this point, Casey was trying to explore more in the with TC, but also he wanted to explore Sydney. So at one point, he asked Sydney to spend the night with him, but after that, he realized that TC is more his speed and whatnot. He told TC, and TC was in her feelings. Oh, she's like, oh, really? What? I said, girl, you only know this guy for like a couple days. Can you really calm the F down? Like all that possessing them, it was too much. And I don't dislike it. I just don't like the desperation. Like, girl, calm down. She did apologize later on, but then it's like really stop it. Let him do whatever he do. Now, throughout the whole video, they had conversations. You know, Zach and Cecilia was having conversations because I think at this point, I think a lot of people was not studying Cecilia at this point until Maura came along and tried to come after them. I don't know what Maura was doing. I'm gonna talk about that. But Zach was like, "Oh my gosh, this is sad." He was exploring Alana, and then whatnot. But and then Bryce, a lot of the guys was none of the girls were not feeling Bryce. That came to be that Bryce started to realize that he really want Trinity. He crying. I said, I don't know, y'all. I still not featuring Trinity and Bryce relationship that much. I'm not saying they may not like each other, but I just don't know. I just don't know because I always in my back of my mind feel like if Kata would have gave Bryce the chance and Kata would have picked Bryce or whatnot, would he would fought to go back to Trinity? I don't think so. I don't. I think he would have stick with Kata. So, and it doesn't mean that he don't think Trinity is beautiful because Trinity is a beautiful woman. So I just felt like I don't know. I think he only do that because nobody was featuring and studying him. And then I think he kind of like Sydney, but Sydney had a bad taste in her mouth. I think he bit lip or he uses teeth or whatever that. She didn't like the kiss anyway. I know later on she try to get in the money. She was scrambling to try to get back in. But I said, good, it was a little too late. You didn't go after him so full force. So now the Mora went in there. No, before I was so back. Casey. Yeah, he was having conversations. And as he having conversations with Corbin and him having a thing, and Corbin said one thing about the Casa girls is more college girls, and then Villa girls are more high school. I don't like how some of the Villa girls act. But I don't say they high school, but I do feel like some of them gang up mentality, all that stuff they're doing, is becoming very cliquish. And I'm gonna say that. It does. But the Corbin, his mind was like, oh, Palmita is tight and whatnot. And that the Palmita thing, before we get to that, Palmita, you reached out this guy DMs. You had to remind him you was in his DMs and all that stuff. I said, so you knew him. You reached out to him, more on your speed, and he left you unread or he read it and he didn't respond back or whatnot and he didn't remember it and they after he explained to him what the DM and he remembered the DM afterwards. I said, girl, what your angle is? So you ain't a thick with Corbin, which is fine. That's your type. Corbin's your type and you know he's a horn dog anyway because he ain't there for no freaking love. He there for lust. Whatever. So What is that? Because I said, you reach our DMs and then you had to mind him and go after. I said, girl, don't be no desperate housewife either. I was side-eyeing her a little bit with that. And I said, oh, okay, girl. But it seemed like they're more about, so they're more athletic. They join it. She joined his physique because she just kind of basically joined his body, his tallness, his what it is, physique, all that stuff. I don't think it's anything more than any deeper from them. This is more of a sexual attraction, a physical attraction. I mean, that's what I had to say. And it's like he's like over the girls. And then when Casey was talking, every time he was speaking about a Nia thing, it does seem in concert that he was annoyed. And maybe because they left in a bad term, but he seemed like he was very annoyed. He did say they had no connections. Listen, I think Nia said the same thing a little bit. It's like she liked Casey and everything, but it's not much of a connection. It's more of a call. She had a call. She had more of a connection with calls like that. Nothing in common. Not connection like I think he said no connection. Yeah, I think he said that. No connection and nothing common with Naya, nothing there. But so I said, so we faking the fuck all this time. If you really felt that way, maybe you could have said that. Or y'all both felt that way about each other. Y'all wanted to stay in this bubble and relationship with each other. But if y'all both kind of feel like it wasn't giving them much from y'all each other, so maybe the love letter shouldn't be done, even though they had to do it. But I feel like y'all was holding things in and keeping things in, and it did y'all disservice. Because now you coming across as bitter and angry about you had a connection with Anaya. And it came kind of off. Because let's be honest, before he was letting her know, yes, I want to explore, I want to do this, all this like that. And I think the only thing I had issue was that he said he didn't go after and he had regrets. And I said, you shouldn't have no regrets. I think you should go full force, let her be in her feelings, and do what you have to do and whatnot. But now it's like coming across that he was so annoyed, like TC gave him the efforts. She is effortless. She gave him the affection that he needs. And I know a lot of people say about something about they want to ask someone about that. Corbin, I do feel like Corbin wants that. He wants sex, all that stuff, because that's what he was giving. He DJing, he go to have sex. That's a lustful. He did that with Kenzie. He did that. Like I don't know. He did anything with Palmita and that thing, but that's what it was. Now I know Casey says he wants more of affection. It's like that, and that is the sex. I don't know if TT and him did anything sexual. I don't believe so, but if they did, maybe. Still would be wrong, but I do feel like if you was done with Nia, it's like that. You could have did it more in a tactful way and to say, you know what, Nia was great. She's a beautiful woman and everything, but I just feel like we don't have a strong connection. And I come to the realization that our connection is not that strong, and I feel like I have more connection with TT. You could have said that instead of downplaying her. Oh, she's not this, she's this, that, all that stuff. She's annoying, she's attractive, she got some. I was like, not mad that he do what he's doing, but I do feel like it could have been more respectful way. It could have happened. And he's still good. He's still gun hung about that first night that nobody was behind his door. That thing bothers that guy. You can tell, and he brings it up every time. He's bothered by the one that stand behind his door. And because of that fuel, and then the connection he had with TT, it's kind of fueling his like resentment in his journey so far, and it come across how he delivered his messages. So that I understand that. I agree with y'all saying about that, but I just want people to not be so pissed off and mad. Like let it is. And another thing, people have more smoke for him than Sincere, which I don't understand. Sincere is the one that should be having most smoke for. Because we could talk about how people go after the black women so harshly. People go after Casey very harshly. And I understand, yes, he didn't do it in a tactful way, but I think he's not the horrible worst man in there, Villa either. In my opinion, I think the worst man in that Villa is that fake and sincere. But people mean as either people don't really care about sincere, and they say, no, well, we know who this type it is. It is what it is. Or I mean, a lot of people like to be the C word, the colorism, all that stuff like that. He might be like white, he get away with a little bit more, but we will assassinate Casey, which is like, and listen what I'm saying. I'm not defending him, but I'm just saying that Sincere should have more smoke. They allowed Kenzie to hold a grudge towards Zach, so let Casey hold one too. Yes. And yeah, Kenzie didn't do any better. She jumping around to different people, not holding on, and then she trying to take other people's man and stuff like that. But when you do to her, she have an issue with that. And I don't like that. So I hope they show that movie night when Corbin was connecting a couple of Melody. She would be very sneaky and she would be very, very addictive towards Melody. Oh, why you feeling her more feelings than me? Why you care more about her than me? You was like that. You try to consider my feelings. I feel like you give me no signs that you want to intervene. Like that was very manipulation. And they were talking trash smack, I guess, by Melody to Jen. And they could go around and do the same thing to Jen. Now Jen feels some way about that. Like, I want my man to be obsessed with me. I don't like that. I mean, I know Kenzie and Jen had a conversation that she was trying to talk to a gal, but I said, Kenzie, Dylan's your type and on your speed. Why are you trying to talk to a gal? I think she entertain people that entertain her. That she really that show interest her, she will entertain you. And she jump around. But nobody calling her out that much. They let her be. But yeah, y'all were getting hard smack jumping on the guys. Now I don't think they know everything that how vindictive Kenzie was towards Melody like that. Because I feel like they would knew that, and maybe a movie that would bring that, they would probably be like, "Oh, girl, we're gonna get your behind too." What the hell you was doing? But one thing about Kenzie, she will move on. She won't stick on the guy forever. And I wish a lot of these girls do that. That one thing about her, she will just move on. She will jump to the next. Now, Amora. Remember on the wall, who the favorite on the wall. Because, I got what I needed. I did what I do. Everything falls into place here like that. Because, I'm a Amora. And I get what I want. And I get whatever I think. Now, she didn't say all that, but I'm just giving what she was saying in the middle. She said, oh, that things working out of play. When you play your cards right and everything works out, I'm going to get in that bit of any means necessary. I'm going to get that. And I said, Mora. Mora. Like I said, Casa Goods had the advantage of watching everything that happened before they got in there. How did you think being attached to Cecile will work out for you? Y'all know how you knew what he did to Melody by using Soul to get Melody in line. Can nobody say he did that tactic? He used Soul to humble Melody. For her to see, it's like, oh my God, I really like this guy like that. Knowing that he's figure playing her. And like I said, it may be obvious to us, it might not be obvious to them. Because they there 24/7, they don't see everything. And two, people have to tell them what we're seeing, or they have to see it from themselves. So you use the Soul to get that money. So from Marvel, you see all that. Will make you think he was gonna take you back. He gonna entertain you. He gonna kiss you. And I know that clip coming around when he said that unseen clip that he said, if I had more time with you and more, you would have been the one. I said, boy, that guy lies for the fun of it. He just lies and lies and lies. Many people probably will see that. But I said it wouldn't matter because she gonna keep taking him back. So how many more proof you need to see? So more, you think you was touching yourself to say that he was gonna pick you back? I said, girl, no, he gonna use you, and he did the same thing to you like he did to Soul. He entertained you, he talked to you, he make you feel like you something, and he make you think that he's gonna go back. He liked the connection and everything, but then you start seeing his facial reaction. I don't think he was into it like that. But he gonna get along to get along, to not be left out. But then he said he forgot how one Melody looked like before the postcard came around. And now he did a postcard. Now he realized, oh, he have a connection with Melody. I said, you forget about the like, boy, you said a lot of shit. But yet, he's not crucified as much as everybody crucified Casey and Corbin. Which I understand. But if we want to crucify on the man, we got to get on the man. And when Bryson Cecilia was talking, let me find out what Cecilia been the voice of reason. I said, oh, not the liar. So at this point, that's what the Bryson started crying for Trinity and all that stuff. I said, you ain't had no connection there. Nobody was featuring you. So I guess you didn't have much to do. Go by. And then Trinity, on the other hand, she started realizing after she did her little night with Corey, she started realizing she really, really into Bryce. She like Bryce. I said, most of your and Bryce conversations about the other couple. So I also don't even know what connection y'all really have. I didn't have yet to have a conversation about how he feel about you being a black woman, and, you know, how he feel his family will accept her or whatnot and all that stuff. Like those how conversations or anything else from them. A lot of people don't like his kisses, so you the only one who likes it mostly. So I don't know what's going on, all that stuff. And then he manipulated and twisted what Casey said. We'll get to that because that was brought up when when Trinity brought it up to Casey about his comment. Twisted, and I think Trinity twisted it a little more, but whatever. It's a telephone that's not only what originally said, and then all the extra stuff. And I think also, I don't think he really said that he was not exploring so because of Naya's reactions. I think he didn't say it, but I think he was doing so in respect of Anaya and how she feels. But I feel like, yes, you will have to not let her dictate your experience because you come in with regrets. It will not. So all this conversation, then they had a little activity with a casa versus the villa, right? And they had to do temperature rising, and you got to do a category. You will be going head to head with a partner you're coupled up with before casa, and then you will pick a category, and then whoever's raised the temperature up first will win that round. So Melody was versus Sincere, and that thing was licking. Melody won with Corey. So Sincere, who was Corey? Who was Corey? So now the guys start being their feelings. I said, boy, bye. Kata versus Zach. It was kissing. Kata won that round. Now Zach said, who's Shay? Now Jen was versus Kata. It was Tickle. Jen won that round. And then Anaya versus KC. It was dancing. KC won that round. Trinity versus Bryce. It was sucking. I said, oh, Chad, we'll be sucking. Then I had the woman suck the toes. I said, oh, I ain't doing all that. I'm going to lose a round. I ain't taking those damn toes. Not in my mouth. If you into toes, you want to suck my toes, that's fine. But I'm not sucking none of yours. Trinity and Bryce won that round with Sydney. And then Kenzie versus Corbin. It was Nibble. And Corbin won that round. But I don't know. I think that Kenzie should have won that round. I don't know. I feel like Kenzie should have won that round because they did a little bit more than Corbin and Palmito was doing. So Corey told to Trinity that he was explore Melody, and Trinity's fine with it because at this point she didn't want to care for Corey. After she had a little spill with Corey, she went back to be a loyal to Bryce. I said, I like Bryce. I see myself with him. I'm crying. I was so like that. I said, ooh. Once she started crying and then Bryce cried for Trinity, everybody said, you know what, we're going to shoot them to the finals. They're going to win. I said, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care who wins anyway. So if you feel like they should win, y'all feel like they should win. I'm still not convinced. Still ain't convinced. But if they feel for each other, they want each other, then let it be at. Let it be. So now Corey started getting to know Melody, and then Corey was trying to tell Melody, cause everybody called him Corey the dirty macker. He was dirty macking because he tried to air like laundry stuff like that, but also trying to mac Melody by airing out the guy that she was with, and tell him that he had to be all upfront and honest. And it's crazy. Corey was not the only one. A lot of guys in the villa, or people in the villa, was telling her, "Yo, he is not upfront with you, girl. He's been lying. You don't know the story." But I would say it wouldn't even matter because she still ended up being loyal to him at the end of the day. Corey tried to step it up, playing a date. Since they haven't did a date thing with Melody since he even been there, but giving her hell. And Corey did one, and this is before he even know that of a couple that's happening. Did a plan a date, they kids, all that stuff, and then Melody tried to give her a little speech. Kids, he gave her a speech. I say all the speech was given. It's like, is it resonating with these girls? Is it resonating? Now I know at some point they saw a postcard. The both Villa and Casa got the postcard, and they showing pictures. I feel like the pictures didn't give. And I think the only way they did that, I don't know, the picture didn't give what it gave because it said you see kissing, and that's all. And I said, okay, you said they have a connection to someone, they kissing someone. However, and then also Casey saw that Anaya labels up and called and said, oh, she ain't do nothing to me when I'm kissing like that. So he still feeling upset about that. But kissing like that, that's not enough. Because at the end of the day, yes, it probably is outside the challenge. And I say, yeah, maybe that messed up. But a lot of y'all kiss outside the challenge. So this is what it is. And some didn't, and some was. But I think that's a big deal. However, that should give. I think they should show a little bit of clips because the season 6 they still moving. They still did moving night, even though they show some clips to the girls about what the guys was doing. So I feel like they should have done that the same as well. Show a little bit of clips, that damaging clips that could make y'all understand, like girls, like really go out and do something. Because I think they would show a little bit more clarity than them kissing, because that wasn't enough to me. Because obviously it wasn't enough because they just persuaded. Yes, they started crying and everything. However, but they still stayed loyal. Most of them did. Kayla was crying down. I said, oh. I didn't know why she was doing that because she gave her body away. She gave her energy. And that's what I say sometimes it's not good because sometimes men could take sex and they take it or leave it. They don't put attach to something to it. But women sometimes when they give their body, they attach feelings, emotions to it. So it's like not every woman. I'm not generalizing, but usually in most cases, most men don't attach feelings to sex. They just like to have sex. It's a nut for them. Y'all may think that they sex you over and over again, that they really like you. No, they could secretly hate you and still have sex with you. Y'all gotta learn to play the game, y'all. We seen this numerous of times. So I don't know. She broke that real hard, like really boo crying. This is the time that Jen started saying Kenzie with whatever, and she started not liking what's going on because it's like That's when she started talking to Lonnie. But I was like, okay, you brought Gar back. You know Gar still had interest, was interested in still Kinsey. He did tell you, he was honest. He still said he goes try and score and see how that goes. But you want the man to be all about you. So you want to be a man all about you. Maybe you shouldn't have picked Gar. But she still have a strong connection with Gar. Because you know Kinsey going to try and talk to her. Even if she got her Dylan. Now, let's jump to this end because we don't waste time. We got to talk about the last of the couple of and stuff like that. The recoupling. Let's get that. Almost done, y'all. Recoupling. So everybody recoupling, they had to get the letters in the they saw the poor cards or saw Melody's crying, Melody crashing out, Kayla's crashing out, Anaya's crying, all that stuff. Trini tried to start hype the girls, but I said, girl, you ain't use your own voice because you just kind of went away with Corey after you just had a little night with him where you could have just stuck it out with them too. So it's like, y'all all saying that's what it is, and y'all blowing up. Whatever. And then he said, you give him all the power, and they stay and give him loyal, and they not, and they're saying like that. I said it's a right message, Melanie, but wrong messenger. Because you gonna use your same words, or you gonna use the words you giving them pouring into freaking Kayla and Anaya to yourself? No. So all that stuff you were saying was good. It was like garbage. It was understandable. Yes, you're right. That's why I said like I want you to stop being so loyal. Like it doesn't mean you won't get back to the man that you with. I just feel like if you were to pick a Casa guy, pick with them, try to build more connection with them, and see how the other person move and seeing it go, and then whoever wins at the end. And if y'all meant back to come back together, y'all meant back to come back together. It is what it is. But to stay loyal and then the possibility they bring somebody back and then you be single and vulnerable, no, I'm not giving y'all the chance to do that. Even if I would bring somebody back just bring somebody back. I'm not giving the chance to make me feel stupid and you up there having your little good old time. No. But Kenzie say she like, oh God, he's a surfer type dude. That's her type. I said I could have sworn Cowboys your type. Now surfer dudes is like, okay, girl, she just got a type who got a type. All right, she got no type. She's the same thing. So text, they got a text to recouple it. So everybody got a couple, and they got to make the decision whether they're going to stay in the current relationship with and before Casa, or they can be coupled with another person in Casa, or they can choose to be single, to stay single. As they like. So Casa is the ultimate test of relationships and whatnot. And let's get into it. Jen went first. So Jen, she picked Gal. So that was no surprise. She was at the right few lanes to pick somebody. She picked Gal. I thought she was gonna pick Lonnie. No, I did she most of the Gal anyway. But she has started connecting with Lonnie. But I guess that's not happening. But it was Gal she picked. And you know, Gal will entertain Kinsey. So I don't know how she's gonna be. She will be still being in feelings. Kayla was next, and Kayla brought back with Jaden, and he was surprised to hear that the girl lady saw the live stream, and he said, "Oh, child." So everybody said, "Oh yes, we seen everything. We saw the live stream," but they were so happy for Kayla, like they did, like their little son. Oh, we so happy! Yay! Go ahead, you found connection. I mean, he gonna bring back somebody anyway. So what's the point? All that he gonna bring back somebody anyway, but it's because of Jada. But I feel like Kayla was interested in Palmita, but Palmita jumped ship when she saw Figure Corbin, and she DM'd Corbin anyway. So it was like it was a Tina mode that she just jumped ship to Corbin and all stuff like that, and don't act like she just all into it. They so fit together and all that whatnot. I said, okay, you laid in thick, girl. So it also happened for Jada that Kinsey picked Dylan, and she was saying days bet she never she said the days in the villa with the Casa boys was better than she ever had with Corbin. I said, girl, we couldn't tell because you was all over to Corbin. Now you saying You said all that because Corbin threw you ass in the woods. If Corbin didn't say all that and you didn't hear that him say, "Oh, he gonna pick somebody and coming back and like that," if you didn't see all that, you still probably been stay loyal to Corbin. I don't know. If they didn't see that live stream, or if Corbin did not say, "Oh, I'm gonna pick somebody, gonna ready come back," or throw kids at the window, I don't know how kids will probably move. She probably still would be like, oh, Corbin. But Kenzie also likes to explore and do things. So when somebody show interest in her, she got interest in the back. But she still might be still strong to Corbin. So, but because he said all that, she jumped. She checked out and she moved on. Right. She said it was no red flags and it fooled them. I said, fooled you where? And why? And they said, "Oh yeah, we were fooled." I said, "None of y'all was not fooled by Corbin. That's not playing the games. None of y'all was not fooled by him." That's what I said. I didn't like what some of y'all was doing. None of y'all was not fooled by him because when he came in, he was like, "Can I get a kiss, motherfucker? Can I get a kiss? Can I get a kiss? Can I get a kiss?" He wasn't saying much, and y'all already know he was F boy dead. And they told you what he was moving, and you didn't give a damn because he's don't try to act like he fooled y'all. He didn't fool y'all. Y'all piped him. Kata figured him out. And a lot of girls figured him out. But you thought since you was giving your body and he was on to you, he decided you that you won the prize over Melanie or Kata or something like that. Exactly. And they criticized Gabriel, but Corbin doing the same thing. The only thing about it, Gabriel was honest about his shit. He didn't hide nothing. He loved kisses. He didn't hide himself or whatever. He was Brazilian. He's a sexual person, and he loved kisses. And Brazilian people are free, liberal, sexual liberal people. They would kiss you, they would kiss you, they would kiss you, they would kiss you to have a good time. And he never hid who he was. And they questioned his intention, but y'all didn't question Corbin's intentions. At least you know what you're getting from Gabriel. Yes, she was hypnotized by the Happy Meals from Friday. She was. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like Kenzie was better. Or y'all riding hard for Kenzie because she's standing for herself. I said no, she was a fool. And she was fooled. I said none of y'all was not fooled by him. You choose to know the red flags because you wanted to know the flags because you thought you was it over the girls because you wasn't his type. They was his type physically. You was his type because you was easy. He was an easy person. So you was not fooled by him. So don't miss me but that. So Corbin came back with Palmito. Ladies, this is another thing I didn't like. Boo, Corbin, boo, tomatoes, boo. I said, okay, whatever. I mean, you may have to discuss or whatnot, have a little side conversation, but all that booing, it just sounds really high schoolish. I'm sorry, man. I don't care what nobody say. It does sound really high schoolish. I like all that stuff with ganging, all that. It was okay. The kids are gonna handle their own self. I feel like the scenes, each one of them could have handled their own self. I think what they about season 6, yes, they would deband each other and they used to like that, but when each one of the ladies stand up and they had to face the fact with the guy, that lady was the main one talking, and the girls was defend. They were stand behind them, but had little side comments, but they wasn't jumping in, as I remember correctly. When Serena went on Cordell, everybody kept quiet and let her go on. Janae went on for Kenny. Everybody kept quiet. When Kayla had to say her speech, did she say her speech? I think she did. Everybody kept quiet, but they were supporting each other. That's what I wanted to see here. All that jumping in and cutting everybody off and attacking them all the time. I didn't like all that. I don't care. Y'all can say whatever you want. I know that I understand it because that's good for solidarity, but I didn't have to like it. Just like with the TT and the girls. We'll get that in a minute. I understand why she did what she did, even though I feel like she could have just stayed out of it and just let it be quiet. It may Palmita too. But at the same time, if they say what they want to say, they want to say it. They want to say it. I can't block from them say what they want to say. Sure, y'all ain't gonna punk them and shut them up and think that y'all want a thing. Like I said, I'm not nobody fire. I'm gonna call everybody out. I ain't really like it. So all that boo tomato, okay, whatever. Like y'all was that freaking fool by him. Like y'all really clock who he was. If Cecilia come out with Memorial, y'all would do the same thing. Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. Whatever. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Yes, the guys are buying. They're allowed to express their feelings and be mad, but the guys can't. Look how mad they were at the men for being mad for them eliminating Gabe. Exactly. Yeah, the guy was bad. They said they can't be mad and upset. Why y'all mad and upset? But they get to be mad, jumping in, berating the men. That's like that. If the roles were reversed, if the guys were sitting there and the girls come back with some the guys, and the guys say loyal, you think the audience would have the same reaction or say, "Oh yes, I hear that." Yes, they will berate the guys and go off on media. That's why I say it's a double standard. That's why I didn't like it. Because if the guys would do that, will jump on a female, they would say, "Oh, why a bunch of guys jumping on a female? There's a fucking bunch of pussies. They all sit. They would be saying, call them all kind of names. But it's yes girls for doing so. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. Facts. If Anaya kept calm, treating everyone else would have been quiet. They wouldn't have said nothing. But because she didn't pick someone, they had to feel like they had to defend her. No, not let Nia speak for herself. So Pamela said she felt confident. Oh, she said, "Oh, you felt confident." Oh, what him? What him? You think you will feel confident? I said, "Let her feel confident." I don't know why, but let her feel confident because she see how he plays anyway too. He knows that boy, but she lay no thick. But it is what it is. So, kids, you move fast. You move on quickly too. And everybody's saying all these 3 days and 3 weeks. Quantity does not equal quality. Just because I'm with you for 3 weeks doesn't mean that you have a more stronger connection than someone I met for 3 days. Some people have probably better connection with somebody they met quickly and recently than somebody they've been with for years. It's all about the aura and the energy. So whether it's 3 days or not, some of y'all locked in with each other since day one and y'all barely stepped out your relationship. So if you really could compare things, just because you've been there from the beginning, he was disrespectful. Yes, I will have to say that. Yes, he didn't have to say throw Kenzie out the window and all that stuff like that. He should have expressed his feelings and red flags he had by Kenzie before he left Casa. He didn't. So yes, he was being rude, disrespectful. So I give you that. So I give you that. But at the same time, Kenzie, you got Dylan. Corbin, got Palmita. Why are we mad? Kizzy moved on. Now, if Kizzy was by herself, even I still probably would like to gang up. I don't understand why they would try to defend her like they've been doing in Fanaya. But Kizzy picked on Dylan. Picked Dylan. So all that going after him, wipe the smile with your face, all that stuff, and going, what you gonna do? What you gonna do to him? He didn't care. He didn't care. Well, you're gonna X them out? Tonight episode, when we watch tonight episode, well, how you gonna move? Kizzy made 2 connections in 3 days. So all that 3 days. Exactly. She moved on quickly and make 2 connections in 3 days. So if we gonna be seeing like, oh, or because he said whatever, day relationship was done. The only difference is that yes, he was being disrespectful, and he should have said that. But kids moved on. So if you're gonna go by standards about 3 days, no, whole everybody in the standards the same. She don't give a damn stepping on people's toes to get what she want. So I was like, I don't think what's the need for booing him and tomatoes when y'all both all be couple. So hopefully, kids, you focus on Dylan and Gall, and Corbin will focus on Palmita, and hope the tension in the villa dies down. And I hate that stigmatization that the Casa girls got to go against the OG girls. I hate that. What is y'all have to like each other, love each other, but y'all have to respect each other. And unfortunately, that in the next couple of days, the tension will be high because Palmita and TT decided to say something, and the girls want to be clicky. They're gonna be doing that, and they're gonna want to not be associated with them. And it's their right whatever they feel like that. But it's also their right to defend themselves to say what it is. So y'all have to live together. So y'all have to make it work. And I'm not gonna be sitting here and be on miserable and pissed off with some girl. I said, girl, my issue is not with you. Yes, we said that things. We could have a little chat. You be cool. I'm good. We can apologize to each other and move on. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't about you. It's about my frustration about the consistency. Hopefully they had that conversation. But I'm not gonna hold a grudge against TT or anybody else because they decided to say something. And Palmita said, "Oh, you don't know that," because Palmita said, "I was there," but she said, "You don't know everything he was saying. Why are you doing that stuff like that?" But she said, "I was there though." But hey, Kay decided to stay loyal to Zach. I feel like she should have picked Shay for the sake of it, but she's so stuck on Zach. Zach came back. He said he missed Kayla a lot and everything, but Zach only came back alone because Delana got kicked out. She got let go. Now, if Alana was still there, would he would take her back? I wouldn't know. I think he probably would take it back to see the connection to still have that little thing. I may feel like he may would still came back single, but he would still had that choice. But he had no choice. So Kayla thinking that he came back as a choice for her, but I said no, he came back because nah. And quoting what people saying on the After Sun, I didn't watch After Sun, but based on the clip, people saying that Zach was flowing and he was flirting way more than we were seeing. She said Shay had green flags across the board. He was a nice guy and everything, but she's still upset with Zach. I guess he had to make it up to her, all that stuff. I said good, but you don't have to worry about no breakfast for him. No, do your own breakfast, girl. I would still hold that on. I said I don't care forever, but whatever. It is what it is. Melly Cecilia. It's another thing that I really care. Now, like I said, if Cecilia would have brought back a ball, would they would have ganged up on Cecilia? Because Cecilia didn't give a damn. He said he knows Melody. And he's, oh, child, he wouldn't give a damn. So would they go, because they was like, hey, can they feature you in Sincere and Melody? I said, I don't know why you feature Sincere and Melody so damn bad. Y'all supposed to be girls, though. Y'all supposed to tell Melody as a girl, stop falling for this guy. Move on. That was just delusional, but that delusional pack went out the window a long time ago, but whatever. So Melody said, Corey gave me the best thing ever. He gave me a day. It was so special and everything. I appreciate Corey's efforts and hard part that everybody was telling her it deserved better. And everybody in the villa, what he has been doing, what he was doing, how he was moving. And every guy was telling her that. And she was pissed off about him. I said, you pissed off, girl? Stop it. So she decided to stay loyal to Sincere. I said, I wish Melody would play the game. I would say, listen, she talks a good game. And all that, like I said, all the affirmations she was giving the ladies, all that stuff like that, and stay loyal to the guy who got played you. And you had the most experience of being played by this guy and get your feelings hurt, have you sleeping on soul ties, be all that stuff to please him, to humble him, to have him humble you, to get back in the good graces for him to know that he hasn't been all the way honest, faithful with you. And you saw the picture and kissing the girl, all that stuff, and doing what he wanted. And I hope that you will see more of that. But it wouldn't make a difference anyway. You would not leave them. And it's sad. It is sad. Because ain't no amount saving you. So if y'all do bring back Amora, what they're gonna do? What they're gonna do? Because Sincere's not changing. That's who he is. When they had a thing in the earlier season when he was there, who was the person guilty of texting someone while they're in a relationship, and it was Sincere, and Melody was like this. I said, you doing all that for what? Because you were staying with him anyway. That lets you know that how they are outside and may how they show up in here too a little bit. So you think he would change his stripes? No. And it's here when you have access to do though, why still lie? That's the crazy part of it, but he's not being crucified as much as Casey is and Corbin is in this episode. So he came back alone. Melody tried to stay loyal. So he said, head down. She berating him, and he just looked at her. He said, girl, you say all that what you want to say, because you still ain't going nowhere. And you know what he said? Oh, I felt good. I feel great. Because I knows Melody. And I am confident that she will stay loyal. When he had that positivity that she will stay loyal, that's not a compliment on Melody. You hope you don't think that was a compliment. He basically saying, no matter what I'm doing, you gonna stay with him. You may do all that, yeah. You might do all that, and that's why you should be respecting me. You should be all that. When I'm behind your back, you should be respecting me when I'm not seeing you, because I had to be seeing you and watching you, and you be all good and all good and saying that on the side. But when I'm behind your back, I'm like, and he was like, "Oh, she not one for everything she says. She ain't one." Cole was hurt by it. All that. So I said, girl, all that felt really flat to berate the guy when you stay loyal to him. What you punishing him? What are you punishing? He don't give no crap what you said. He said there looking at you, girl. He was like, okay. And he sitting by you, giving you the flower. You sitting there act like you mad. I said, girl, you picked him. You say loyal, you mad still. Girl, you ain't doing nothing. You type of that will keep going, arguing one with the guy, knowing that he's no good for you, and still take him back. So it would have been better if you had Corey next to you, and you pick Corey, and he came back to you, and then you berate his ass and let him know how he feel that he could lose you. Then I would say, okay, girl, I got you. You got that. But no, it was stupid for you to do all that speech and say that. I wish the girls would pipe up and say, "Well, Melanie girl, listen, he showed you time and time again how it is, but y'all all stay mute and quiet. Y'all ain't jump on her. I wish y'all would have been more fair. Are you accepting Melanie and sincere? And y'all feel like they are lost cause, ain't no wasting your breath, or what? But whatever. Trinity and Bryce. Bryce came back. Trinity came back. They all happy. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, congratulations! They wear the same color. They good. They happy for the halfway with each other." Mo Society. She didn't want to leave Corey on. That's what she didn't pick him. So she actually realized she had more physical ability. She didn't want Bryce. She didn't want to leave him on. So she didn't expect to be emotional over Bryce. I said, I don't know. I expect to be that emotional over him either, but it is what it is. So they cry for each other. They like each other. It's good as it is. Now, here go this Nia and Casey thing and this TT, all that stuff like that. Everyone end this here. Nia came out. So people had this thing that Nia and Melody are this close, right? And they feed off each other. And I think, I may be wrong, but I feel like if Melody wouldn't have picked Corey as a couple up, I think Anaya would have picked Carl. Since Melody and the girls before stayed loyal to their man, I think she felt like that her be staying loyal and follow suit. Go order for core four stay loyal. Trinity, Kayla, Melody, and Anaya. Kinsey and Jen only pick on somebody else. They stay loyal. So she said, okay, the girls stay loyal. Their man came back single. Then my man gonna come back single. That's why I said, like, girl, don't be a follower. Just be your own stand up, your own, and you should have had picked Paul for the sake of because of the connection you had. And you did say he reassures you, he make you feel beautiful, he make you something like that. You said all that stuff about Casey that he's doing that. You keep saying he wasn't doing that, then you say he does. So that's that he has not been reassured because she said that he has been doing that. So she said she never got a chance to explore, and that's your problem. I think you should have done that. She never got a chance to explore. Call, make her feel beautiful, secure. He's a perfect man. But she was thinking about Casey a lot. She was missing him a lot. Casey always reassure her. He always make her feel beautiful. He always pick her up. Pick her up when she's down. This is stuff that she said out her mouth. So I want to hit that all that stuff that Casey has not been doing all that. He has been doing it. So when Casey came with Tierra, she broke down, and that's what everybody, women activated. They all got activated. So, other than that, y'all saw the first night of him getting danced on and being happy. What other basis y'all had to be that upset with him? Because y'all didn't see what he was saying. For y'all to jump on that guy, or that's I don't care what nobody's saying. Is people? That's why I'm saying people getting pissed or mad about it. I understand why people upset, but we are pissed. But my thing is, what other basis that the girls had against him, other than seeing that clip? I know Trini go by one now. I was telling her about it, looks like that. But y'all just stand in solidarity, just stand in solidarity. It is what it is. So he came with the Tierra. It's all that stuff. They look good together and whatnot. And no, by all means, I'm defending him and I'm staying on my side. I'm not on nobody's side. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. So don't try to come here and act like, oh, Mizzle. No, I'm not defending him or excuse anybody's behavior. I'm just calling what I see. So they was there. It's tough. Anaya crying. She said, I feel delusional. Fuck. I feel messed up. I said, you maybe should. You feel stupid. They said, you know, stupid. You're not stupid. I said, nah, let her know. You said, girl, you should have picked call. If that was just more your speed. Said the boys are easy. I said, they can be or they cannot be. If y'all feel like they easy, y'all feel like they was loyal, they was losers, they feel like all that stuff. Why the fuck are we staying loyal? That's all I'm saying. F all that. I don't care what nobody says. If y'all feel like all that, why y'all staying loyal? Picking the Casa boy doesn't mean that y'all was going to end your relationship. No. Y'all can still test it, explore it, and see if it's meant to be to come back together. This season, they feel like exploring and stepping out. It's like y'all leaving it. Oh, well, if it is, it's what it is. It's what it is. Just be honest with each other. They'll say, oh, it's been 3 days. So, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. If Anaya Casey had this up and down throughout the villa thing, and before they got Casa, it was matter. That's why I feel like she should have just picked somebody, pick Carl. He had to, so she won't be that embarrassed. But since she will follow everybody else, and everybody have successful bringing back, she thought she would act the same, and she thought a different way. And everybody also understand that Naya, you were stupid. You played yourself. So I'm gonna ask Tierra how she felt. Tierra was in the middle of talking, like she's in the middle of talking, and Trinity asked, I'm sorry, can I say something? I ask something, right? She didn't finish talking, but Trinity wanted to ask a question. She said, what you said to Rice and everything that you had the stronger connections here, and if you're so sure, how come you bring somebody else back and it's like that and already coupled up with somebody else like that? I was paraphrasing. I'm not going into all the deep words, but she basically saying that you said you had a strong connection. How would you jump ship so fast quickly like that? And you also say you was not going to explore anybody due to Anaya feelings. And he said, hold on, that's not right. That's not true. That's not true. So when you ask him a question and he trying to answer his question, y'all keep jumping in and cutting him off. So how can he answer the question? Y'all can cut him off. So I mean, I have to mind him say so like that. So when he finally gets a chance to talk, and it had to be quiet because Ariana said, "Listen, y'all want him to say, y'all got him the chance to speak." So he poured into him, and nobody picked him out. He's still hurt about that first day. And his ego abused that nobody picked him the first day. He said, well, we didn't know you. But I'm saying, y'all didn't know a lot of people, and y'all stayed with that person since day one, and they stick with the person. You should explore other people to get to know them. Y'all didn't want to get to know other people. So that's the whole, we don't even know you bullshit, whatever. Why are they say behind his door? I want y'all to say it. Explain it. I want somebody to really ask them why nobody say it behind his door. It's because of what he say. It's because y'all didn't find him attractive. It's because of what? I want y'all to say that. Tell me. Because he's the only dark-skinned black guy. And I'm not going about that colorist thing. I just saying. What y'all explain to me? Just because nobody know him? Y'all ain't know nobody else? But Casey, understand you feel as a feel, but you gotta let that go a little bit. Nobody stand behind your door, but I think you use that to fueling your resentment, and it's coming out. And he did that for him. And he didn't do that for Anaya. So everybody was upset about him saying that. I said, no, he did that for himself. Yes, he should have done that for himself. And so you don't have to respect, I don't need you to respect me. And I pick for myself. Well, good, congratulations. So yeah, respect him. Well, y'all gonna isolate him? You gonna distance yourself from him now? Y'all not gonna want to talk to him anymore because of Naya? You're gonna treat him bad? Like, I wanna know. Because I'm not gonna stand for that. I'm not on his side, I'm not on Naya's side, but I'm not gonna stand for that. Oh, you're upset that he chose himself like that. Now, us viewers, we understand, yes, it was about him exploring, but it was about him being the resentment that he was holding, that he came across as negative, which I understand. I agree. Maybe that should not happen. That if you would have been respectful, you would say, okay, that's fine. He came back for himself. It is what it is. But the ladies, and now TC decided to jump in and defend KC. And how you defend a man, for 3 days is crazy. Some of y'all defend your man, y'all know for the one night and it's crazy. So let's be for real. Let's be for real. I understand that it's not a good look that TC to step in because Trinity was just talking to KC. And she should step back and just be quiet and let them play it out. Because at the end of the day, the issues was with him and they didn't direct it to you. So I understand that. But I also understand why she did it. Not because I agree that she did it. I understand why she did it. Because y'all, all these ladies is jumping on him. Yeah, y'all defending the court of people y'all just met, y'all besties. That's crazy. Exactly. But y'all don't understand why he felt the right way, but nobody stick by him the first day. And you didn't know him. So how you know somebody your besties and you don't even know them? You don't even know their intentions. So y'all jumping on him. So I feel like us as a woman, that she said, y'all all ladies is jumping on him. Maybe defend him because he's a man, and if he said the wrong thing, that everybody would crucify him for saying the wrong thing and getting upset and use his emotions because how dare you come back at us and screaming at a woman when y'all all attacking him and he has the right to defend himself. So maybe she's decided to step in. Now, do I agree with this? She should step in? No. But at the same time, I understand why she did it. And I noticed that during that whole argument, altercation, that I also didn't like that she said the little girl comment. And that was messed up. TC, you had the little girl Trinity. But Trinity, you did call her bitch. So we're gonna be fair. So, and that bitch was not a term of endearment. When you're in an argument, bitch is not a term of endearment. We're gonna be fair to be fair. But yes, the little girl comment was not necessary, and you calling her a bitch was not necessary either. So I did think that Kenzie and Melody was cropped out that scene. I think like it was way worse. And I think when she was responding, when we were saying, I think we were thinking that she was responding only to Trinity, but I don't think she was responding to Trinity. I think she was responding to Melanie and Kenzie and everybody who was getting up and trying to say, what's up? He said, oh, you gonna shut me up? It's like that. Because if y'all look back at the scene, they cropped her out because Melanie was standing next to Naya, and when we see the scene, we didn't see her. So I think that Melody was getting riled up because Tinty was defending the KC, and they was going back and forth. And since she was going after Trinity, everybody got activated. So when I think she like, "Oh, you gonna shut me up?" It wasn't towards Trinity. I think it was towards the girls that was standing behind that got clocked out. I think it was Melody that she was saying that to. Because when you look at that, she was looking at somewhere else. I said, who she was looking at? And Nia wasn't saying much. That's what I'm saying. Nia wasn't saying much. The girls did the most of talking for her. So I said, it ain't had to get that far. It didn't have to get that far. Everybody's in their emotions, everybody in their feelings, and whatnot. First of all, Bryce told you the wrong information. That's not what Casey said. Casey and Zach were having a conversation. If we will go back, Casey and Zach had a conversation. Zach asked him, "How do you feel about being a top favorite couples?" He said it felt good because he should be in the top couple because him and his Anaya and Zach and Kayla has been together since day one, right? So Bryce said, hold on. What about me? What about me? Me and Trinity was day one. They said, yeah, but you want to explore things. He said, yeah, you as well, but you also want to explore. So he didn't like that. And he went back and told Trinity something different. And Trinity took that as a fuel to him. And to be honest, I feel like Ariana should stepped in and that all that before they got escalated. Before they got escalated, I think she should have just stepped in and did that. But it escalated. And I feel like it was more than we had seen. So that's why I said, "Oh, this is Bad Girls Club," because I said, "I don't know," because it wasn't just on TT. Your friends would stop piping in too. She ain't all by herself. So she said, like, so Casey said, Nia spoke, so like, she beautiful and everything. She deserves everything. She said, "Oh, he writing me off." I said, "Maybe he is," but then you say you don't give a fuck. So I said, "Now you don't give a fuck. You don't care anymore. Um, how you gonna move?" Because they are voting a Casa Boy and Girl. And I most likely think they will bring Carl back. I don't know. I don't know the vote results. You guys will find out. Maybe tonight we might find out who they bringing back or not, or maybe after the fact and wait till Monday as a result who they bringing back. Maybe Monday or Tuesday they probably don't bring it back. So um, because the vote ends tonight. So they got 24 hours. Maybe Monday or Tuesday's episode, we will see who they bringing back for Casa. And the movie night's happening too. So it gonna be no eliminations until after movie night. Okay, everybody needs to be there. So I'm gonna see how the intentions goes. How it'll be. And we play it. If you hear me out, I'm not on nobody's side. I call everybody out. I don't like some things that happen, but I'm not gonna be mad and crucifying people over some action. I just find little like how they do it, how they move about with it. I didn't like how the girls clicked up and jumping on Corbin and jumping on Casey. It was too much. Understand they want to defend each other, but I felt like you could have had been supported and everything. I know Liv from season 6 piping up saying that what she would have done. I said, "Girl, okay, I don't care what you're saying. It is what it is." I really don't know. I don't really don't have the bandwidth and try the energy to try to entertain all that. It is what it is. I don't know. I feel like that people feel like it's OG, the Castle Girls is beneath you, and they should just not say shit. And yes, they maybe did, but I don't think you should shun them either. So hopefully they can hash it out. They can sit down, understand each other, and be cool. And y'all don't want to be good friends. Y'all don't have to be. But at least let's make this villa experience because everybody's back together, and we cannot make this a hostile, and nobody couldn't want to be there. And I know people want to vote Casey and Tierra out. Go ahead, do what y'all want to do, y'all. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't care. Nobody really deserved that win to me. But y'all will keep Melanie sincere because y'all like them. No, they ain't giving nothing else either. So why? We need Cecilia gone. But no, because y'all like Melanie, you'll keep Cecilia. I hate that. So why go? No. It's because like nine messed up her own chances. So they don't bring Carl back, which I believe they will, to save her. Or they could be Corey for Melanie. I don't know. It could be a toss up between Carl and Corey. I believe Carl will come back. We don't know. But Marva probably will come back over Cindy. I don't know about Cindy because I don't know who she will connect with. But Marva will come back. But I said we'll bring Marva back because Casey, Cincinnati ain't going to jump ship anyway. I mean, to test the theory, if I had more time with you, you would be the one to pick. I said, no, he just saying anything the same way. He going to stick with Melanie. So y'all do what you want. Y'all want to vote people off because y'all in your feelings about it. It is what it is. Y'all don't know. Maybe Tim and Tiana might have a good connection. Say what you want. Most of them is all sexual. Most of them is more affection and kissing and everything. I don't really see much deep conversation with most of the couples. So I don't know how your group will be. But like I said, I'm not mad. So once I shut this down, I move on. And I will watch the next episode tonight. We'll watch it together. Hope y'all come with me. Any last thoughts about anything? I know I didn't talk about a lot of the conversation that much because to be honest, that recoupling episode, I didn't take notes until the recoupling because I was just like over it at this point. And move on. And conversation replay game. Appreciate you. Please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel. I know some people might not like what I had to say, but I was fair. I was being fair. Like I said, I called everybody out. And I just wish that we don't do too much because sometimes people go on people pages writing bully statements. We're going to bully him. We're going to bully that. I said, why are we doing all that? Like, really? It ain't that serious. It's a TV show. Let's just talk about it, say your piece, and move on. Why are we having all these dissertations, arguments going back and forth? Like I said, I understand people. One thing about this, like people opinions of the show, unless they say something so outrageous, you could understand both sides. People have one side of things. This was the soul thing. People have one side of soul and another side of soul. And if you listen to arguments of both sides, I could understand both sides' arguments. Just like with the KC and the Nia, I could understand both sides' arguments. So we don't need to be defending one side wholeheartedly and discard the other side. I can understand people feel that TT should have said something. I can understand people feel like that TT should have liked to say something. I can understand both sides. I understand people may feel like the girls stand up for themselves and they want to call the men out. They agree with them. I understand people don't agree with that. Both opinions are valid. That's what I'm trying to get at. Both sides is valid. It's how one sees it, how view it. So everybody not gonna view the show the same way. So we going back and forth and arguing with each other is pointless. It is just pointless. That's what I have to say because we all gonna view it differently. Nobody gonna see the same thing unless we say something outrageous that was not shown, and we go out the lockers. Then I say, okay, what are you talking about? Because that's not what happened. But based on what happened, I can understand people may take different sides of based on what you, because we all come out our own projections and our own viewpoint of things. And it doesn't make your opinion more right or wrong than another person's opinion. It doesn't. Because when somebody don't agree with you, you call them stupid, they're idiots. So I said, we don't need no game calling. It's not necessary for that. But that's it. Hope y'all enjoy. Hope I give y'all entertained and understand the perspective of people who try to stay neutral and understand and call out everything and be objective as possible. But I don't take the show too seriously. I only watch it for entertainment. So as long as these people be honest with themselves and be respectful, and I know some of them fell short, I will call them out on that, and I agree with that. Maybe people need to be more respectful, but at the same time, these is young people. A lot of them are young, and they don't have the respect factor yet. They alter themselves. So until they be more nourished and everything, I don't take Love Island as a serious thing and say, oh my God, these people will be married the next day, or they'll be married after this villa. Because most of the people don't even end up staying together. So we don't all this discourse for not to even stay together at the villa. Because most of them here for the exposure. That's what I'm saying. We do all this for most of the couples don't even last. So we can have our discourse, but let's be respectful with one another. And that's all I say. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hope y'all enjoy. And I'll talk to y'all next time for a Love Island review. Peace out. All right, later, y'all.